Welcome to our live training session here with our 2011 Evo X GSR. We're going to be learning how to calibrate this vehicle using our ECU flash software in conjunction with the Tehpra V3 ROM. Let's jump into some details about the vehicle. It's going to have a built 4B11 engine. The engine has Darton sleeves, CP pistons, mainly connecting rods, so the bottom end has been forged and strengthened to handle high horsepower and high engine speeds. We'll find that the cylinder head has also been upgraded. It has Headgame Motorsports port work done to it. It has upgraded valve train, has a GSC S2 camshafts, and it also has an upgraded or deleted Mavic exhaust cam gear. So we don't have reliability problems with the aftermarket cams that are installed that are very inherent with the 4B11 engine. Now moving into the turbo side of things, it has an ETS turbo kit, which can be twin scroll. It's a 64-66 turbo that's used in the turbo kit. It has a 3-inch turbo back exhaust, so it's set up to make a whole bunch of horsepower with this particular turbo system. Now, on the fuel side of things, we have FIC 2150cc injectors. It has a radium double pumper fuel setup in the tank, so it has two Walbro 450 liter per hour fuel pumps. It has external lines and a regulator and a fuel pressure damper and upgraded fuel rail itself. So we have everything done in the fuel system to handle high horsepower. Now, in addition to this, we're going to be tuning this on flex fuel. So it's fitted with a flex fuel sensor. We have a 3-port boost solenoid installed. We have an Omni 4-bar map sensor. So it has everything to make high horsepower. In fact, this is going to be making over 800 wheel horsepower when we tune it on flex fuel using E85. So we're going to go through the calibration process, learning how to build our base map here in this very first video, then move into doing our pump gas tune on 93 octane, draining the fuel, and then going in and putting E85 into the fuel tank and learning how to go through and work with the flex fuel calibration process in our Tehpra V3 ROM. We have a lot to cover. Let's jump into our very first video so we can get started creating our base file. Welcome to our live training session here with our 2011 Evo X GSR. We just went over the details of the vehicle. Let's jump into our ECU flash software so we can begin creating our base file uploaded to the ECU and start our calibration process. So moving into our ECU flash software, I have a file loaded here ready to go. We're going to be starting off with the Tehpra V3 ROM for this particular car. We're going to be doing a flex fuel base tune. So we're going to be mapping it on 93 octane first, then we're going to go in, drain the fuel system out, put in the ethanol fuel, get the ethanol content higher, and then start the calibration process on that higher octane fuel and higher ethanol content. We can run more timing, we can run more boost, we'll make way more power on ethanol. This tune that we're going to be doing here, especially on 93, is really just for a kind of a limp mode kind of tune. So in case the owner of the vehicle runs out of ethanol, he's not going to be racing it on 93 octane. He just wants the option in case he's driving it a long distance. If he runs out, he can go to any gas station, fill up, and he doesn't have to worry about going in and dealing with the boost being too high or having too much ignition timing or having the fuel way off. There's a pretty large fuel difference between pump gas and ethanol. So all of that will be adjusted here accordingly. We'll learn how to go and do that within this training module here. So this is going to be the file that we're starting off with. So I've purchased the Tehpra V3 ROM ahead of time. I entered in all the VIN number for this particular this vehicle here and everyth's set up and ready to go. Now a few things about this real quick. This is a 2010 ROM. It's going to be here, our number is 5557036. This is going to be a 2010 model year. This is a 2011 model year vehicle. So I'm going to be putting an older ROM year in this particular 2011 ECU. I've done that in the previous live training video with the 2011 MR example that we just had. So this is going to be the same kind of idea. 2011 was a transitional period, a transitional year for Mitsubishi. So the 2008-2010 represented one way of programming in the tables and the structure here for the ROMs. Then in 2011, they transitioned. They did some things that were goofy. Then 2012 to 2015, all of those were pretty much the same. So the programming logic and the tables are going to be similar between those. I like to work with the older ROM years whenever possible because it simplifies a lot of the newer tables that we have, again, to deal with. So I'm going to go and take a step backwards. I don't want to deal with the 2011 model year. I want to work with the 2010. So that's what I've purchased ahead of time from Tehpra. I've actually specified the ROM that I wanted. Now we had in our training course, we had a specific video talking about the preferred ROMs. So I went into that preferred ROMs list and I looked what ROMs were preferred for a 2010 model year. I went into Tehpra's database. I went in, I purchased a Tehpra V3 ROM using the VIN number. I specified which ROM I wanted to have, and I specified the year of that ROM. So I made sure that I was able to get that ROM that I was after, that Tehpra offers, for a 2010 model year. I can't stress that enough. If you go in and put your model year of your vehicle and you put in what your original file was and your VIN number, he'll go and send you back a ROM that's going to be based on that model year or based on your particular ROM or similar ROM for that model year. I don't want to do that. I wanted to switch the ROM again, so I was very specific of how I went about this. In this particular ROM here, 55570-360, this is what Tehpra offers for a 2010 model year GSR. So that's where we're going to be starting off with here. What I'm going to do right now, so I don't oversave on top of this original file, I'm going to go in and save it as a new name in its own dedicated folder. Let's do that right now. So I'll go here to File. We're going to go to Save ROM As, and I'm going to go in here to Documents, into ECU Flash, and then I'm going to go here in a new folder name. I'm going to call this EPA, Evo X GSR Flex Fuel, just so we have a name for this in a folder. And then we're going to double click, and I'm going to save as a different name. I don't want to go and again save over top of that ROM that I've downloaded. Now that particular ROM that we're working with right here, that's found on my desktop right now. That's fine, it can stay there. I just want to save this again in my new folder location. So I'm going to call this Base Cal 1, doesn't really matter. You can get any kind of name you'd like, just so we rename it so that as we're doing our process here, we don't have to worry about, again, oversaving on top of the original file, and that is going to cause us to not have that anymore. So we don't want to do that. So let's jump in here to our current ROM metadata. If you look down the list, this looks super overwhelming. We're going to be slicing this away and just changing what we need to get this engine up and running. Now this has huge injectors. It's going to be on. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.